What does my child feel about the education system, about the schooling process? What are the thoughts they have when the examinations are going on? And also at the time of results? Is there anticipation, fear, anxiety? And is it that your child is not communicating with you? If you have some of these questions, then please watch this video where we are going to answer, maximum of these questions, and that too from the students. My name is Darshana Falke. I'm the founder of Joyful Learning Hub. We are presenting you a series of interviews with our students. Some of them are meritorious, some of them are average students in school. Some of them had challenges when they were doing their schooling. We are going to understand their emotions and their fears and their strong movements, weak movements, Then we're also talking about the breakdowns they had and how they were able to cope up in the difficult times. Friends, if you're a parent or a teacher or you are a student, these interviews are going to give you a great insight into what is really going on in the minds of the young generation. And students will be able to take inspiration from these students who are going to put their life in front of you. Do watch this video till the end. At the end, the students are giving you a special message to the other students and also to the parents. So here is the next interview. Okay, let's start. So, welcome all my friends, parents and teachers. Here I have with me my student, Dr. Ravi Lange. I'm extremely privileged to invite him for this interview. These are a series of interviews that I'm doing it with my students, and I've seen that they have that element of determination and grit. So here I welcome Dr. Ravi Lange. Let me introduce you to Ravi. And Ravi, I want you to just talk about what you are doing and kindly introduce yourself to the audience. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. My name is Ravi Ashok Landge. I am currently a final year postgraduate student of general surgery working in Grant Medical College, which is also known as JJ and JJ Group of Hospitals, situated in South Mumbai. Right now we are looking after COVID patients, and this is it. I have done my schooling in New English School, Bandra East, and done my college at DG Ruparel College.
Wow, so he's a Ruparel student. So those people who are from Mumbai will know that Ruparel is a topmost school, college for the 11th and 12th science. So friends, before we actually start our question and answer session with Ravi, I would like to mention something that I strongly remember about him. Okay, so I had the privilege of teaching him when he was in grade 12, and I was teaching chemistry for him. I remember that he was preparing for his entrance exam. Ravi, that time it was MHCET, right?
Yes, MHCET.
Yeah, so when he wrote his MHCET exam, he was not able to score the required percentage. So can you tell us, Ravi, what was the score that was required and how much you scored?
Yes, I had scored around 140. In the first exam, I had scored around 140, and the cutoff was around 142 at that time. In my second attempt, I scored around 147. So I got through.
My God! So you got 140 and you missed the score by two points, right?
Yes.
And guys, what he did, that was fantastic. And he took a 1-year break. He did not take the admission. He chose to sit back, study, and give the exam one more time. And who does that? Imagine he studied all through the year. So the next year also, he came through all the training like a very good student. He wrote all the exams, did all the classes, and wrote his exam the next year. And that is what he said. He got 147. So Ravi, I want you to really tell me about this. Why that 140 and 142 and 147? Can you just explain the significance of those points?
Actually, the cutoff was around 142 and 144 since last 2 to 3 years. I was not actually looking after it, my goal was literally around 200. I had kept a very good goal that I had to score 200. But even after giving the exam, I had a thought that I would have scored around 160 or 170 odd. But in my first exam, I had a disappointment. I came back strong. I prepared hard for the second time, but though the score wasn't good, but this time I got through. Yes, but for the second
So
time, I
got
had to put a lot of efforts for it.
yeah. So got through means you wanted in Mumbai or you wanted free seat or what was it like? What was
No,
the
no, no.
aspiration?
My aspiration was simple that I had to do MBBS, and that was my goal after my 12th. So with that determination and that grit, I chose PCB in my 12th, and I had worked for it.
Okay, I understand. So 147 gave you a free seat in JJ or you still had to go for a premium seat?
No, no, no. I got a free seat.
Oh, that's cool.
That is through government. Through government.
So, friends, I also want to tell you one thing that when you're talking to me, I'm reminded of Ravi is my life's most courteous student, extremely respectful. I mean, honestly, I have not seen, I must have taught thousands of students like in my 25 years of teaching career. But Ravi, I'm really telling you, you are extremely humble. I mean, even just now before we started the meeting, we were just exchanging about gestures and all. And he was like so humble. Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher. I mean, how? Tell me, where do you get this humility?
Oh, no, ma'am. Actually, these are the cultures or these are the values which are taught by our parents, and these are the things which we learn in our school. Certain values that we have to always respect our teachers because they are the ones who build our foundation. Madam, you have, I do remember how you have taught organic chemistry to us. I do still remember whatever you have taught, and it has really helped me during my MBBS days, and it is also helping me now. And I'm really thankful for it. And this respect to you will always be there, ma'am, no matter what.
So, friends, yeah, he has respect for me, but let me tell you, he has respect for everybody. Okay, he even respects his co-students. I mean, he's a gem of a person, and I'm so glad to have him here at the interview. So, Ravi, I want to ask you a few questions now. Okay, now that you have introduced yourself.
Yes,
Okay, friends, I also want to know that he is relentlessly working, okay, in the front line. And he is, I am honored that my student is serving the COVID patient. So, Ravi, briefly, can you explain what's the experience of all this?
yes, ma'am. Initially, there was a bit of fear, there was a bit of anxiousness uh, during the March times when we were seeing only 1 to 2 patients, when our hospital was just about to start. Then we had some anxiety, we had some fear. How will it happen? There is no cure for this disease. How should we do? How should we go about it? But we are frontline doctors. We have to have that mental power, and we have to go there with a bit determination. Though symptomatically, we were treating patients initially, and yes, though we were treating patients symptomatically, patients were getting treated. So, without having any fear of ourselves getting infected, we were giving our best, and we are now also we are working. And initially, and one thing I would like to tell everyone, since I am working with COVID patients since last 2 to 3 months, though there is no cure, but I can see about 90% of the patients who are infected with COVID, they are asymptomatic. Even if they are infected, they might have mild symptoms. The disease, the COVID disease, is affecting greatly those people who are already having some comorbidities, especially those with some respiratory elements. So
Okay.
those are the ones who might require ventilator later on. Otherwise, those who are healthy, those who are having a good immunity, even though they get infected, within 5 to 6 days, we are seeing that their repeat swab, that is their repeat COVID swab that we are sending, it comes out to be negative. They come out to be non-infectious later on. So there is nothing to worry. But yes, even if it is not highly infectious, I would recommend each and everyone to take care of each one of you and also of your own family members. So even if it is not infectious, don't be of that mindset that, oh, I will roam anywhere. No, that should not be your mindset. Take care. The best way is try to avoid the infection. And even if you are infected, don't worry. Doctors are here and they will take care of you.
Oh, so that's good news. And I think, the great message I can get from this is that don't hide. So people are,
Yes,
getting infected and they are not coming up front. They're so afraid of even going into the healthcare because they think that, what can happen. But once you're infected, you're infected. There is no harm. I
yes,
mean, it's not that further damage is going to be caused. So it's great that, if you can submit yourself, and as you're saying, building up on immunity is something that is, I think, universal. That is
yes, that
extremely
is true.
important. But most importantly, what you pointed out is that it is nothing to worry. So kindly get into treatment as quickly as possible, right, Ravi?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, basically here we are only giving mostly symptomatic management. Research is still going on. HCQs, still more new drugs are coming in. Research is going on. But yes, majority of the patients are getting cured. So there is nothing to panic about if any person gets infected by COVID.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm sure that looking at the news, people are getting more worried. So, I mean, I keep myself away from news. I talk to only people like you who are like, the correct source of information. So, to my friends also, even if I am a very positive person, if I listen to the news in one day, my whole positivity goes down the drain. So, keep yourself away from the news. Just get informed from people who are like the real source of information, right?
Sure,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes.
so Ravi, I would really quickly want to ask about you now. Okay, it's about you as a
Yes.
student. Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
please give me your experience when you were a school student? Okay, when you were in school,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know what was your school experience overall. Like, how have you been as a student in school?
Yes, in one word, if I would like to describe my school experience, I would simply say it was wonderful. I did everything there. I studied, I enjoyed, I played, I made friends for life there. Along with all these things, I was taught many things there apart from studies, the way to behave in society, the way to behave with others. So I am really thankful for my school. It also helped me to develop a positive attitude towards life, and of course, it has laid down a kind of foundation, uh, you know, so that we can do something good in our life later. So I'm always I'm always thankful to my school.
That's great. So you know what? Schools are doing a great job. I always agree. I'm making videos also about education. I really give lots of regards to the way the school is trying to, impregnate those values. Right, like you said. Okay, Ravi. So I'm a teacher, I know, but I want you to tell me your favorite school teacher and why so. Why that teacher was your favorite
Okay,
teacher?
that is a very difficult question. Uh,
I know.
Teachers, each and every teacher, I would say that she is my or he is my favorite, because most of or all the teachers have had a very great impact in my life. They have always taught us good things. But if I want to mention about one teacher, I would like to mention about Shet Madam. She was my Marathi teacher from 8th to 10th standard. I would like to mention about her. I would write my answers about my LAQs of Marathi, and I would go to her, and she would tell me the corrections. But later on, as the time passed, she said that, Ravi, now it is the time that you better write your own answers, and you must be confident and you must become independent in it. So she encouraged me in doing that, and apart from it, she also encouraged me to do public speaking. She used to send me in few elocution competitions. So that kind of stage fear which was there earlier, it later on got deteriorated. It went on. It passed away. So I really like her also.
That's right. See, I think Ravi, what you mentioned was the co-curricular activities. In fact, I'm going to come up in my, content about importance of co-curricular activities. That one co-curricular activity Ravi has made her as your favorite student, favorite teacher. I'm sorry. You understood?
Yes, yes,
So, as
yes,
teachers,
yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, those who are watching this, I understand that academics we are doing great, but if we can connect one child with his passion through extracurricular activities, we can have a lifelong impact on the child, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. So I want to know, Ravi, next is which is your favorite subject and why?
Yes, science has been my favorite subject since childhood because I was, what do we say, I was attracted by biology in my school days by the way the body works, the different structures of the body it has. It encouraged me to go to scholastic book fairs, which were there in our schools. I used to pick up a few big books from science and I used to read about them. So science, of course, it is my one of my favorite subjects when I was in my school.
So why was that? I mean, you were fascinated by the way the body mechanism works, or something that happened in your life that one fine day you thought something like why biology?
Biology, that is what I am saying. I got really fascinated by the way body works. I had purchased one book from Scholastics. It was about central nervous system. It was mentioning about synapses, how synapses work, how the neurotransmitters are there, how the nerve signal is generated. So all those things. This is only about one concept. There were many such things which really made things really uh, made me to go towards science,
So yeah,
and
I
that
also
too
remember.
biology.
Yeah, so that acetylcholine, that is regenerated and then they disappear. But it's like
Yes,
fascinating.
yes,
So,
yes, yes,
so Ravi, what I am taking from this is maybe that wonderment. Child is sitting doing
yes,
nothing, and ideal mind is thinking, how this must be jumping, how it must
yes.
be
That is
going.
curiousness. Yes, ma'am. This is all. This is what curiousness is about, and that is what good teachers do. That is what good teachers do. Teachers do. They actually help us to think,
So
and
as you
this is
said,
what our teachers have done.
I want to tell all my friends and parents and teachers who are listening to this that we have to give this free time. So Ravi has been through schools maybe around 10, 12 years back, right, Ravi, when you were in school.
Yes, yes,
That
ma'am.
time
Yes, ma'am.
the arrangement of schools were different, not too many activities happening, and child had time to think and wonder, and that free time is required. Also, I'm sure that Ravi was also having that privilege of lesser mobile and TV interaction. We had
Yes, yes.
lesser
That
of
is
that
true.
mobile disturbance. So, if we can, curtail that and the child starts thinking and wondering about the machines or maybe even economics, even about literature, that will give you the connection and it will connect you to your real passion. Right, Ravi? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes. You're correct, ma'am.
So the free time for them to think about what they want to think is so important, right?
It is important. Yes, ma'am. It is important.
And Ravi, I'm going to create a content on creativity. How Archimedes, then a lot of these people, when they were free, you
Newton.
know,
Yes.
Kekule, Newton, Kekule also, he got the basic structure in his dreams when he was sleeping. So creativity is very much connected to free mind, freedom of
Yes,
thinking.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much. Yeah. So, okay. So, next question was, what was your aspiration? You already explained me when you were very young. You aspired to be a doctor and you worked towards it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Ravi, the next question is, I want to talk to you, talk to us about the most struggle and the toughest or maybe the breakdown time, the valley that you had. If you could just
Uh,
discuss.
Actually, my struggling and the kind of the you said a breakdown of valley that you mentioned, a very toughest time of my life was my some personal experience. It was when I lost my mother in my ninth standard, because she was my constant support since childhood. She was the one because in childhood various thoughts used to come to my mind. I was good at sports. I was good at singing. I used to play chess, and there were many different things which I used to do. But I did not have a specific thing to go about. There was not a specific thing that I would think about, and this I would decide that I want to do this particular thing in my life. So my mother was the one who really showed me the path that and so she encouraged me to give exams like Olympiad, then Maharashtra Talent Search, National Talent Search, Homi Baba, different exams, Navinda Jnanpith. So since childhood, kind of I was a bit trained in giving this multiple type of questions or these competitive exams. I was trained in them since childhood, unknowingly. And in my 8th standard also, I had to go to Ville Parle. In 9th standard, I had to go to Ruparel College. There, they used to hold different sessions. I had given a few speeches there. So, mother was a very good support to me. And in my 9th standard, when I lost her, so I really had a very tough time at that time.
I understand. Yes. And parental support is so important. And, I really want Ravi to, thank you so much for bringing this here, your personal life, and sharing that with us. And, with this, my friends, parents, teachers, I want you to also look at how important the impact of a parent is. And I always consider teachers as non-biological parents, we can have such an impact on the child. And since Ravi's mother, encouraged him to go into Olympiads and all that, and he was able to cope up with it. Okay, however,
Yes,
I want to really make it a point that if our child is not that material, we can see what is it that, see, Ravi was always found with books and, studying and all that, that worked very well with him. However, we as parents have to be very thoughtful and intelligent in monitoring what our child is good at and give that conducive environment and opportunities for to foster those
yes,
skills and talents. Am I right, Ravi?
yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes.
And I'm
You are
sure,
right, ma'am.
and I'm sure, Ravi, I always believe in life beyond, death. So I know that your mother has always overlooking you, guiding you through her vibrations, and
Yes,
she is going to be in some form or other in your life right now. So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure
Yes,
about that. Yes. Uh, Ravi, what is your biggest accomplishment? I know must be getting into the medical college, but is there anything else, or if it is a medical
yes,
college,
ma'am.
can you please? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Besides getting a seat of general surgery in my own parent college after MBBS, uh, seeing a kind of satisfaction, seeing a kind of a satisfactory smile on my father's face, that has been my biggest accomplishment. Uh, yes, ma'am. That is the
That
that is the thing that every child or every son or a daughter would want instead of getting some degree or something else. A parent satisfaction is the most important thing that one should always think about.
Yes. So parents, did you get that? Friends, did you get? For every child, it is about the parent's satisfaction. So we have to be thoughtful and clear about what to expect from the child. They're all the time striving. As आजकल कैसे लगता है, how it feels nowadays, Ravi, that children don't care about us. But I strongly believe that every child, it's not only because Ravi
Yes,
is extremely humble and respectful and a decent child, but all the children want ultimately one thing: parents should be satisfied. And we have to
yes,
be very clear about what will make us happy. And I'm sure that if you give all these skills required for the child to show his talent, the real talent, that inherent ability, then they can be happy and we can be happy. Right, Ravi?
yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And also, I know that MBBS admission didn't make you that happy, but getting into that MD entrance,
MS. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I've
Yes, ma'am.
seen so many of my students getting so worked up with the MD admissions and getting the choice.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
that's a
ma'am.
really great thing. And you're in the last year of your
Yes, ma'am.
MD.
Just about to give our exam. Yes, ma'am.
I really wish you luck and all the best
Thank you.
for everything that you do in your life, and it is always going to be like this, right, Ravi?
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So the next question is there. I want to know that your take on, see, because we are doing these interviews to to kind of instill in everybody that strong foundations are more important than theoretical knowledge. And you should follow your
Yes, ma'am.
passion. I want
Yes, ma'am.
you to tell me how important you feel a strong foundation in a student's education process and how
Okay.
it is significant in life beyond school. Once you complete your school, how strong foundations are going to show up.
See, in school, we are not only taught only about education, it is also about values. And apart from it, getting a good circle, making good friends, and having a good discussion with them is very important. Good friends will not only help you through the school life, good friends not only help you in your academics, but if any other help you require, they will always be there for you. So getting into a good company, making good friends is also a very important part, I think, that
So,
everyone one.
yeah, so I understood that you are, an average of the five closest people in your life.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
my question to you was, Ravi, about the foundation concept that you learn in school regarding your schooling. Like the foundation concept you learn in various subjects, maths and science, how it will help
Yes,
you
ma'am.
in
That is
your.
very important because these are all the stepping stones. That is, if you don't do your schooling properly, if you don't learn your subjects properly, actually whatever we learn in our science, or whatever we learn in our maths in our school days, that is all abcd, which we will require later to make letters and sentences later on. So these are the few basic concepts on which the majority of the things are being made ahead. So don't think that school is completely different and your 11th and 12th will be different and your mbbs and ms will be different. No, these are all the steps. These are all interrelated, because if you know your school life, if you know your college life, whatever things you have learned there properly, then only you will be able to do something better, or you will be able to implement those things ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So, I understand what you said is of paramount importance. And also, a lot of, I think 99% of the students nowadays are relying on mugging up things. So, I want to have that career. I mean, when you wrote your competitive exams, I want you to really, so next question coming up to you is, you know, your huge success in exams. Like you wrote the CET twice. I can imagine writing the MHCET one time is a big deal. You wrote it twice. So I want you to know, what was your North Star? What was the main strategy that you used while you were preparing? So it
Yes,
can
the
be time
main and the
management, it can be, prioritizing things, or it can be learning through mind maps, graphic organizers. What was it? Can you please tell us?
yes, yes, ma'am. See, we have to be okay from the first day. You should be as uh, as much as possible. Try to be with your teachers. Don't be of the view that I will do nothing till 1 month and then I will start my studies. Whatever your teacher is teaching, try to keep a pace with that. Okay, along with, and yes, as madam rightly said, mugging up things will not at all help you, because the questions which are coming up are all concept based. Okay, so it will be based on your concepts. So knowing the concept properly is very important, so that you can apply it properly. And that is what the exams are about. They check how much you know. Instead of it, they want to know the quality that you know. They don't want to know the quantity. So knowing those things are very important. So I would recommend each and every one to make sure that you know the concepts well, because these are the things that you are going to face again ahead in your upcoming exams or upcoming whatever you will do ahead.
Correct, right.
Okay, and always do have a plan in your mind. Suppose if you are planning for a 15 days schedule, then you say that for this 5 days I will do this topic, I will do this. If you don't understand, your teachers are always there. Teachers will always be there to guide you. uh, Talking about myself, I used to plan about for a 15. I used to keep short term goals. I used to decide that I will do 150 mcqs or 100 mcqs within this 2 to 3 days. And if I get stuck up anywhere, I would of course at that time I used to take help of my teachers. Now of course many learning things or learning apps have come ahead. Online courses are there, so things are changing. So your strategy might also change. So ma'am, yes, this is the thing which I have done. Just set a goal and try to achieve to the best of your potential. Many other things will come up in your life. There will be many other friends that you will tell you that let's go outside, let's do party. But yes, in this preparatory times, you have to have a habit of saying no. okay, if you want to do something, if you have decided on to something, be uh, just stick to it and try to achieve your goal to the best of your potential.
Okay, so the takeaway from here, I want to talk about this particular part. What he said is that goals are important. So, all of us who are watching this, we have to ensure that our child has a goal, okay? And even we have a goal. We see the goal every day. We think about our goal, okay? And if required, we can, fine tune it, tighten it, and keep on thinking about the goal. And once you have your goal in your mind, you look at it, you are referring to it, I'm sure that these other distractions are not going to be
Sure,
a
ma'am.
hindrance, and you can say no, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so yesterday somebody was asking me, looking at my content and my work, they were offering me some business, something to do. I said, look, I am doing something that I love to do, and I singularly want to pay attention. I'm sorry. And the friend appreciated, you know, because they know the focus is so clear that I want to give my undivided attention to whatever I'm doing.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was, you can respect Ravi by saying no,
Yes,
isn't
ma'am.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
People,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am. That is true.
children are afraid, parents are afraid that what if we say no, somebody will feel hurt. No, in fact, your relationship becomes stronger. The real friends will
Yes,
always
ma'am.
understand you.
Yes, ma'am. That is true.
So Ravi, it was really fantastic to talk to you. uh, uh, we have met. In which year did you write your MHCET for the first time?
For the first time, I think in 2010,
Yeah.
and for the second time in 2011, ma'am.
So we have met known each other from 2010, and I think
Yes,
we
ma'am.
we did not meet, but of course Ravi had come to my place. I wanted some extra references. I had like passed on those books to him, and we've been
Yes,
always
ma'am.
touch it off and on. So I really want my students also, if they're watching, such a pleasure to see you people get successful, and be in touch with your teachers. That's what I want to tell you. It is, I think, for a teacher, nothing is more important than being connected and
Yes,
being
ma'am.
acknowledged just by saying a hello. See, we
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
want praises. We want you to just tell us about your well-being. Let us know
Yes,
about what is going on, and this is really nice, Ravi.
yes,
Ravi,
ma'am.
we are coming towards the end of the meeting. I really want you to, tell any pointers for our students and their parents. It will be really nice.
Uh, for the students, I would like to say, yes, dream big, stay focused. If you dream big, yes, you will get it. If you do things with hard work and perseverance, you are bound to get those things. So always dream big. And yes, there will be a kind of anxiousness, there will be a kind of nervousness during your preparations. There will be a few negative thoughts that might come and hit your mind. They might say that what will happen if I don't do, if I don't get a seat? What will happen if I don't score good marks? See, anxiousness and nervousness will be there to those students who will be preparing and those who also will be well prepared. For them, I would like to say one sentence or one thing which I had seen in one film. That film is a cartoon film of Arjun the Warrior Prince. In that, Shri Krishna says, this is for the students, those who get anxious. It may be during their preparation or during just before exams. See, I would like to say it in Hindi. भविष्य में क्या होने वाला है ये किसी को पता नहीं, और जो अब तक आया ही नहीं उसकी चिंता किस लिए। हार जीत की चिंता छोड़ो, अपने कर्तव्य पे ध्यान दो, भय अपने आप चला जाएगा। So be focused on what are you doing. Don't care about the results now. You
Very
just
nice.
you set your goals and you just try to get to the best of your potential. And yes, you will 100% be rewarded. And if you do with hard work and perseverance, you will certainly achieve your dream. And yes, again, I would like to tell one more phrase which it has helped me from my 12th standard. I have still written that particular thing on my one of my surgery textbooks of Bailey and Love. It comes like, लहरों से टकराए बिना नैया पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. So always be in a positive frame of mind that you will achieve that particular thing that you have dreamt about. and you are really certainly bound to get it. And for parents who always do wish good for their children, one thing I would like to tell them is that do encourage your children. uh, Always stand with them, stand strong with them during their ups and downs in their lives, so that the child does not feel alone. And rest of the thing is just be a good support to their child. A child really wants a good support whenever he is preparing for, or whenever he is going through some tough times.
Thank you, Ravi, for this golden nugget. Guys, what I got from this is your child should not be left alone. You know, I also believe that you have to be nasty with your children. Be tough, you know, let them fail, be ruthless, but don't leave them alone. So,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, so a lot of times in parents, we are working and we are going out. It's not about alone means physical sense, but I'm saying that you have to be connected with them. You must have spoken to them for 5 minutes during the day or in the morning, but your thoughts and your companionship in the non-physical form is with them. So
Yes,
standing as a support, strong support, you know, in thought form also is important.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Ravi, for being here on this
Thank you very
platform.
much,
It
ma'am.
was really a privilege. And thank you, all my friends, parents, and teachers, and students who have watched this interview. And I want you to subscribe and like this particular video. We are going to come up with more such interviews, and I'm sure that they are going to be wonderful takeaways. Thank you, and thank you, Ravi. And
Thank
please
you, ma'am.
keep connected. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
ma'am. Thank
Bye.
you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sure it was valuable. Do like and subscribe to the channel where you will get interviews like these with the students. We are also going to have interviews with parents, with teachers, and experts in this field. Do encourage us by liking and sharing this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you once again. This is Darshana Farke, founder of Joyful Learning Hub, signing off.